His Divine Grace, Srila Bhakti Raksaka Sridhar Deva Goswami Maharaj, the founder of the Sri Caitanya Saraswat Mutt, was born in India in 1895 in a respected Brahmin family of the Bhattacharya order at Hapaniya district, Burdwan, West Bengal. He received his education at Baharamapur University. Having taken his pious birth in Sri Gauda Mandal, the holy lands where Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu exhibited his divine pastimes on this earth, Srila Sridhar Maharaj from his very childhood had a natural affinity for the mission of Sri Chaitanya Sankirtan, the grand congregational chanting of the holy names of the Supreme Lord. In 1926, Srila Sridhar Maharaj joined the Sri Gaudiya Mutt and became an initiated disciple of its founder, the illustrious Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Goswami Prabhupada, born in 1874, departed in 1937. He later accepted the Holy Order of Sannyas monkhood in 1930. Recognizing him as a faithful, stalwart preacher of the perfect precepts of Gaudiya Vaishnavism, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada conferred upon him the name Sri Bhakti Rakshak, which means guardian of devotion. And further echoing the statement of the great Vaishnava preceptor, Srila Jiva Goswami, who referred in his Sanskrit writings to the renowned Srimad Bhagavatam commentator, Srila Sridhar Swami, as Bhakti Eka Rakshak, supreme guardian of devotion, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada gave him the Tridandi Sannyas title of Sridhara. Thus, he became Srila Bhakti Rakshak Sridhara Maharaj. As a prominent preacher in the Sri Gaudiya Mutt mission, he traveled extensively throughout India and preached fluently in Bengali, Hindi, Sanskrit, and English, spreading the teachings of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu on many levels in universities, public seminars, and Sankirtan festivals. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada also expressed high appreciation of Srila Sridhar Maharaj's Sanskrit composition, Sri Bhakti Vinod Varaha Dasakam, considering it an omen of assurance that the grand ideals and dignity of the Sri Gaudiya Sampradaya would be perfectly upheld and preached by such a learned and sensitive devotee as Srila Sridhar Maharaj. As testimony to this fact, just prior to Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur's departure from this mortal world, Srila Prabhupada had Srila Sridhar Maharaj sing in his presence the holy prayer most venerated by the entire Sri Gaudiya Vaishnava community, Sri Rupa Manjari Pada. After the passing of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Goswami Prabhupada, Srila Sridhar Maharaj's godbrothers, associates, and the public naturally revered him as the senior-most representative of the Sri Gaudiya Sampradaya. In particular, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj, who was at the time in householder life, assigned a large portion of his house in Calcutta to be used by Srila Sridhar Maharaj as his preaching headquarters. Thus, these two great personalities, Srila Sridhar Maharaj and Srila Swami Maharaj, were intimately associated for many years in their early days and remained intimate friends throughout their lives. Although Srila Sridhar Maharaj was more inclined to anonymity as a humble Vaishnava, he, nonetheless, by the call of divine duty and divine inspiration, established the Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Mutt at Sri Navadvip Dham, hinting in a short Sanskrit poem that the Mutt, as a sanctuary where the holy message of his Gurudev, Sri Rupa, and Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was preached, would inevitably become renowned throughout the world amongst the sincere and pious seekers of unalloyed truth and divinity. Srila Sridhar Maharaj is the composer of numerous classical prayers and commentaries in Sanskrit and Bengali. His works are hailed as gems of pure Vaishnavism by scholars, philosophers, and devotees worldwide. He authored Sri Sri Prapana Jivanamritam, a Sanskrit devotional treatise on the subject of divine surrender, which has become a standard textbook for devotees everywhere. Upon reaching his 80s, not only Indians, but persons from America, Europe, and the world over became attracted by Srila Sridhar Maharaj's teaching teachings and personality. He was known as a pure saint of the most simple living habits. He was respected and loved for his saintly simplicity and his affectionate nature and dealings. He was revered by his godbrothers, disciples, other devotees, and the general public, and was unanimously venerated for his formidable encyclopedic command of the revealed scriptures and his unique and unprecedented style of casting newer and newer light upon the most internal, philosophical, and revelatory purports of the pure Gaudiya Vaishnava Siddhanta, the absolute truth handed down through the Brahma, Madhva, Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya, disciplic succession of gurus and disciples. A vast library of Srila Sridhar Maharaj's taped discourses has been compiled by his disciples, and from such recordings, the exquisite English books Search for Sri Krishna, Reality the Beautiful, Sri Guru and His Grace, The Golden Volcano of Divine Love, Loving Search for the Lost Servant, and Srila Sridhar Maharaj's unique commentary and interpretation of Srimad Bhagavad Gita, the hidden treasure of the sweet absolute, and many other books have been published. Many more publications are also anticipated, not only in English, but in other languages also. On August 12, 1988, His Divine Grace, Srila Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Deva Goswami Maharaj, departed from this world to enter into his eternal pastimes. His departure did not herald the departure of one of the great stars of the Sri Gaudiya Vaishnava firmament, but that of the moon itself. Even the earth herself trembled on 2 occasions, forecasting and punctuating the event. A divine temple, the temple of union and separation, was erected at his holy shrine at Sri Caitanya Saraswat Mutt, Navadvip, and worship will continue throughout the generations. Srila Sridhar Maharaj selected his most intimate and senior sannyasi disciple, Srila Bhakti Sundar Govinda Maharaj, as his successor, blessing him with the position of Acharya President of Sri Caitanya Saraswat Math and its affiliated branches worldwide. All glories to His Divine Grace, Srila Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Deva Goswami Maharaj, the guardian of devotion.